Hello friends, as I start the reading there's a crow squawking, which is part of the reading already. Hi friends and welcome back to my channel. So I've got so many cards today. It's like a big message coming through and so many cards I can't even fit them all on camera, so we're probably going to be here for a while. I'm just going to warn you now. I feel like I'm specifically reading for Libra. Very excited to give my Libras this message because I'm a Libra too. It's been driving me mad, and we'll get to that in a minute. So Libra, good news coming in. But when I said who is this reading for, I got Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. So it feels like Libra's kind of leading the way with this one. And then we've got Cancer and Capricorn as well, which may be involved somehow. But yeah, it feels like Libra is coming in strong at the start of this reading. Now, visually, I've been getting a lot of stuff about trees recently, especially connected to Libra energy and Capricorn energy. Actually, they've been getting stuff. If you kind of go and watch their last reading, they've got a little bit of this too. Can't remember if Cancer's been getting it or not, but Libra strongly has been coming through with this tree energy. Now, it could be like tree of life energy. When I meditate, I imagine energy running up and down me, like through the soles of my feet into the ground like roots, and up into the sky like branches of a tree. So this is like a common thing for me personally as a Libra to see. Now, Libra had something in their reading a couple of weeks ago about if a tree is kind of like stunted, or if something gets in the way, if there's some kind of obstacle there, say maybe something overhanging, and the tree hits it, what happens is the tree will grow around it and kind of continue to find that source of light. Now, I also had something there's something as well about different families, like two different houses, a bit like Romeo and Juliet, you know, two houses alike in dignity and all that. So it could be talking about ancestry and, you know, your parentage, your paternal and maternal parentage. It could be talking about two kind of opposing energies or opposing families coming together, kind of like War of the Roses type energy, you know, like Henry Tudor, Henry VII, and Elizabeth. They kind of like reunited the white and red roses, you know, so this kind of like union energy could be something for somebody as well. So it's going to come through in different ways for different people. I'm just kind of running through all the tree stuff that I've had so far. I've also been getting stuff like, I know Capricorn came in with this idea of like how to grow, like how I'm just getting lots of plant analogies in general in my readings. So so for example, my strawberry plant, it has two ways to kind of propagate. It sends out runners, which the runners can go into the ground and create a new strawberry plant that way. So it's something like the, you know, like spreading by the roots, but they can also spread by the seeds, right? So if a bird comes and eats the strawberries, they kind of poop out the strawberry seeds, and that's another way for it to propagate. So Capricorn had this thing about, like, it doesn't matter, you know, if something's split in half, again, it could be like a family tree. It's like this half will grow and this half will grow. It's like everything's going to grow, and actually you're probably going to get more growth if you kind of divide up your assets. So this seems to be how the energy is kind of coming together for me in this reading. There was also a reading that I did the other day, and it was one of these storytime tell me anything type readings about a hollow tree, and how when you're stagnating or when you're very bored, you move towards the heat, right? So you look for what you're missing. So if you were a tree or a plant and you weren't watered, you would, you know, your root system and things would search out the water. Or if you needed a light source, your branches are going to grow towards the light source. So sort of like how a plant, if you put a plant on a window ledge, all the leaves start to turn towards the light. So it's this idea of, if you're missing something, you're going to reach towards the things that you're missing, right? This towards your needs. Now, water talks about emotional needs, like feeling emotionally satisfied in something, and fire energy can talk about creation and excitement and adventure and fun. So this idea of growth and growing towards the nutrients or the things that you need more of in your life, right? The things that are going to help you grow. So, you know, nurturing emotion, like positive emotions, positive friendships, positive relationships, and things that excite you, because there's Libras, this is where it's coming in for my Libras. Like for years, like since before COVID, we've had that kitten sat with the dominoes energy of like, don't move, the universe is setting things up. So Libra has been going through this, I don't know what's going on in like astrologically for Libra, but it's like Libra's had this huge period of like stagnation and patience. It's like, wait, Libra, wait. Now is not the time. We're setting things up. So Libra's had this thing about being the kitten surrounded by dominoes, and it's like, don't move, Libra, just sit there and look pretty, which is really frustrating, right? Because it's not, there's no autonomy, there's no agency there with that. So I'm going to show you something that I saw because I said the other day in one of my readings, I was like, Libra, it's like the dominoes are rolling, right? I've been told you can push over, like not even like the universe is going to start those dominoes and set them off. It's like, Libra, you're the one to set off those dominoes. You're the one to kind of you know, set the first one off and set the ball in motion, which is crazy to me because I saw this thing on Twitter, and I'm just going to find it and show you. Where it was a kitten knocking over dominoes, and I was like, no way, because it's like such perfect timing for me to get that message intuitively and then to actually see it happening, right? So here it is, I found it. So it's cats with confusing auras. I'm just going to kind of pause while I kind of set it up so you can see it without the reflection. Hold on. All right, so I think this is as good as I'm going to get it. So look at this, cats with confusing auras, and then go on, kitten, boop. So it's literally what I've been channeling, right? Look at it. It's like, whoop, I did that. Yeah, so it's crazy to me. Literally what I've been channeling, and it's there, right? And so it's crazy to me. Not only that, so intuitively, what I've been seeing with these trees is this kind of it's like masculine and feminine energy coming together. So again, this could be your own masculine energy and your own feminine energy, because we carry both. You know, like that yin yang energy of being a whole person with full autonomy. We're both, you know, if we on like hypothetically, not that there's two genders, but it's like that kind of black and white, this and that, yin and yang kind of polar energy, and then coming together and being whole, right? So I am aware there are many genders, right? Let's just throw that out there. So even though I've got like a king on the table here, even though I'm going to be talking about divine feminine energy in a minute, it's like, it doesn't matter how you represent, it doesn't matter what your gender is, you carry divine feminine energy, right? You carry king energy. So just be aware that gender is very fluid. You can take it as it resonates. I may be talking about you, I may be talking about another person. It's just whether or not, and again, not to kind of stereotype, but masculine energy in tarot tends to be signifying taking control of a situation, being the instigator, you know, being the leader, and being very like being the doer, where the feminine energy, again, take gender stereotypes out of it. I'm just talking about the term, how it's used in tarot, talks about, I mean, I could call it like, I don't know, banana energy and plain energy, right? I could give it any word. It's just a word. It's not actually gender stereotyping. It is a little bit, but I don't mean to. So the feminine energy is like, if I talk about queens or feminine energy, it's more supportive, it's more loving, it's more receptive, right? Masculine energy is an active, pushing energy. Feminine energy is a more receptive energy, but we carry both, right? So sometimes you can be active, sometimes you can be passive. It's right, just to kind of clarify that. So I've been getting this analogy of like two trees growing together, so almost like two trees growing side by side, but actually almost combining, almost kind of like grafting onto each other. You know how like sometimes you can graft trees to create like, again, another thing with propagation. I don't know why all this is coming through because I'm not a good gardener, but it's like, so I'm seeing these two trees growing together, and there's like something like an oak tree, right? This big solid oak tree that's symbolizing the masculine energy. It's like dependable, it's grounded, maybe earth sign energy as well, so shout out the Capricorns, but it's like dependable, solid, stable, firm energy. And then the feminine energy is coming through as almost like vines, or like a thinner, like Libra, again, Libra, you've been coming through with bamboo, so this flexible energy. So it's like where there's this big solid oak, it's like the other tree is more, it's like more flexible stuff. So it's like moving around it in a more like a viney or tendril way. It is a tree though, and kind of, again, it's like it's almost like reinforcing it. It's almost like not smothering it, because I know sometimes vines can smother trees, and maybe that's a sign for especially the Cancerians who are watching, like don't be overly loving, right? Don't be smothering, but be supportive. You know, wrap yourself around this energy and grow together, like support each other, right? It's a mutual relationship, I want to say, or at least the way I'm seeing it. So then I'm even seeing like and I can see it and I can feel it, and it's kind of like half person, half tree. It's like the vines going down into the ground and almost like, you know, like growing together like this, like it's like making a solid foundation, making a firm foundation, but also like this connectivity. And then as the tree grows up, again, these trees are really grafting together, really combining. They go up, and even like the branches, right? So the branches are almost like fingertips combining like this, right? It's like, it's beautiful. It's like the branches growing together and then like wrapping around. And so the way I'm seeing it again with this, the masculine energy being this oak, it's like the feminine energy can, it's like where, if this is where the branch stops from the oak tree, the more flexible tree, like the bamboo tree, it's not bamboo, I don't know what it'd be, but it's like the vine will go around it, and it's almost like it can use it to support its it can use it to kind of branch higher. It can feel out. So again, this is kind of like this feeling out energy that the feminine is doing from this stable base. So it's so interesting. So it could be support, like, again, take gender out of it. It could be talking about a supportive relationship where one person provides the solid base, right? One person provides the kind of dependency, the routine, the stable foundation, the comfortable home, the reliable income, especially with the King of Earth and the Ten of Earth on the table. So very earth sign energy. So shout out my earth signs in general. This is Taurus energy. You know, providing that stable base. So the feminine energy, or whoever this represents in the relationship, again, take gender out of it, you know, the other energy, who's a more creative energy, can, you know, use that stable base to reach out and try out new ideas and branch into different directions, and be in this more discovery phase of you know, let's see if there's a different way to do this. Let me you know, go a few steps ahead and kind of test the waters and see if this is a way that we want to branch into together. So it's an incredibly fascinating visual metaphor that they're giving me. And again, I can feel all this when I'm in meditation. So absolutely fascinating. And it's definitely this idea of coming out of a period of stagnation and into something that's creative has definitely been playing out for me as a Libra, because it's like I was doing the same thing all the time. I was doing my my zodiac readings and I wasn't seeing any growth, right? I do have a couple of different channels, and so I was experimenting and I was doing something different, and it was just, oh, you know, like these whims, like, oh, maybe I'll do that, you know, or maybe I'll spend 5 minutes making that video, and it's working for me. So this idea of not being stagnant, getting out of a like day-to-day routine which is suffocating, and into a more creative or experimental energy is the way that this is moving, which is absolutely fascinating to me because I'm seeing it play out. So not only am I getting all these tree analogies for Libra, and it's not just me. So I was watching, she's called like Egyptian Empress or something, another tarot reader. I've kind of only just discovered her, but astro poets as well. So astro poets on Twitter also do these kind of like weekly astrology things, and it's very, very metaphorical, and they're talking about trees as well. So I'll just kind of show you this. So here you go. So you can rely on someone you trust. Twitter, why? Hold on. You can rely on someone you trust, the pretty way that wood works, the ways the trees are sorts of sculpture, be a bird there. So yeah, like absolutely fascinating to me. And then Astro Vega, it looks like, is saying it's your time to observe rather than do. You've laid the seeds, but which ones will you want to grow, Libra? It almost feels like laying the seeds is more of the Capricorn energy that's coming through for me personally, but Libra is like yeah, just this flexible period of growth. But it's really, if you are a Libra, I want to say that you are being really encouraged to, once you've established that stable base, right? Once you've established those secure connections. Now, with it being the King of Earth, it could be a father, it could be a husband, it could be just somebody in your life, it could be you. who's very dependable, very solid, very reliable, right? And this is the person or the energies that's providing that stable base for you to experiment from or branch out from. So again, absolutely fascinating. It's coming through for multiple astrologers. And it's really, really satisfying to me as well when I get something metaphorically through meditation or visually, or I hear something, to actually see it play out and actually see other people picking up the same thing. It validates me as a reader and makes me feel really supported, right, by the universe. So as I started to do this reading, there was a big gust of wind, so a lot of air energy, right? Lots and lots of air energy, Libras. My feather here, my crow feather, kind of flew over onto my joystick. So it really was kind of saying feathers could be really important, crows could be important, Libras are coming through super duper strongly. I was getting for the Queen of Swords, she can be brutal. So it's talking about how Libras, when you need to step up and make a decision, when you need to have that sharp tongue of yours, when you need to say what needs to be said, you will do it, and you can be very brutal, but you can also be very loving and very supportive, right? I think that's your natural energy. Your natural energy is to be this kind of Venusian energy of, I just want to love the people around me. But when you have to put that sword up, when you have to draw up the barriers, you can be very sharp. So I don't know if there's a message with that, because I also, as I was fixing the curtains, the kind of net curtains that are blown in, I prickled myself on my cactus. So it could be talking about the prickliness of Libra. Now this is going to come back in again. It doesn't have to be a Libra sun sign. It can be talking about people with Libra in their chart, or just general Libra energy. So everybody has a birth chart with like multiple signs, so go and check out your signs, especially if you like Mars Libra. Could be really, really significant, because Mars is about how you take action, and there's a lot of about to start taking action here. Okay, so just be careful about your prickliness, Libra, which is we're going to come to over here. So I heard birthing, creation, and tree of life is strong right now, and the colour gold. So I'm actually going to pause and take a sip of my coffee. Cappies, hey, shout out my Cappies. I've got my coffee. We're going to be fine. Yeah, I'm going to get into it in a second. Hold on. Oh, I'm hearing it's go time, especially Libras. It's go time. It's finally here, right? So we start off the reading, and again, the way I do this, I use multiple packs until I feel like I've got enough cards, and then I put all the cards together. So I shuffle until cards come out, and then I put all the cards together and reshuffle, and that gives me the order to tell the story. So that's what I've done, and I've only actually used 3 decks because the cards were so eager to talk. So I don't know if there's a lot to say, or things have been bottled up, or there's just a lot of information all at once. It's just a lot, right? And it's so funny, I actually only used 3 decks, and 1 card came out of the 3rd deck, and it's like, that's enough. That is enough cards, right? So we start off with the Divine Feminine, which is beautiful because it's this Venusian energy that I've been channeling, this supportive energy. Oh, I didn't finish my analogy about the 2 trees. Just they're showing me again these pairs, right? So the way that I was talking about the branches coming together, right? So again, talking about the way that plants propagate and grow and bear fruit. Some plants are like self-fertilizing. So for example, apple trees, it's coming through as pear trees, like a very white or gold pear, but it's like if you think about apple trees, right? So if you buy an apple tree, it's normally either feminine or masculine. They can't make fruits unless a bee comes and or something that's a pollinator comes and takes the pollen from one and puts it on onto the other tree, right? The trees won't bear fruit unless there's this cross-pollination. But some trees are actually like grafted on or like cross-pollinated to be able to bear fruit even if there's no other apple trees around. So again, that's something you can look into if you're curious about that. So it's this idea of the trees grafting onto each other and then combining. It's like then we're producing this fruit. So there's also something about I think it was like a Lord's song about fruit. If I can remember, I'll put it in the description box down below. But this thing about like the fruit dropping off, and this creates more seeds, which makes more plants. So again, it could be talking about ancestry, family trees. The way that the trees were wrapping around each other as well made me think of like DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Oh, she's smart. Don't underestimate the Libras. They know stuff. They just don't always say. So yeah, this idea of like the 2 strands of DNA. which of course represents the DNA that comes from the father and the DNA that comes from the mother, and they wrap around to each other. So it could be talking about the way it was coming through, and I don't want to get too far into this because it makes me think of dodgy things that happened in history, and you know, questionable ethics and things like that around DNA, and designer babies and things like that, which makes me very uncomfortable. I don't want to get into that discussion, but it was almost like so because it's yin and yang, right, it's opposites, and it's almost like it's, if you get the right combination of the trees or the DNA, it's like the deficiencies in one can be provided by the other. So it's almost like this balancing, or this is like the perfect, I don't want to say perfect baby because again it sounds like designer babies, right? But it's like almost like say you know, with like it's hard to tell you what they're telling me in a way that doesn't sound dodgy, because it's not meant to be dodgy. It's like say for example one family tree has some kind of like deficiency or a problem in the genes, right? And then there's another family, like a family tree that again has another deficiency. It's like the baby could actually you know, if you get the combination right, it's like the baby could actually be like not have that deficiency. It's like it could get the strength from one side and the strength from the other, rather than the two deficiencies, right? So it seems to be talking about DNA and like you know, recessive and dominant genes and things like that. So I'm just going to stop that there, but it does seem to be talking about some kind of combination that's positive, right? Some kind of, again, it could be getting into a relationship and having a baby. It could be a supportive work relationship. It could be talking about your own strengths and weaknesses within and kind of balancing those out. But it seems to be like the product, right? So whether this is a child or some kind of thing that's being creative, like a creative idea that comes to light, it's like it's positive. So that's the way it's coming through. So yeah, it's shocking to me that the cosmic wound should be the first card that comes out in this divine feminine energy. So this is talking about the muse, right? The creative potential, being able to access the higher realms, the higher source energy, which has been coming through with this white light, heart of the sun energy. So pure creation energy and pure universal love, like Ace of Cups, unconditional love energy of the divine feminine. So like Mother Mary has been coming through as well, for example. So taking this pure creation energy, and then it's like it's coming down into this heart of the sky. Now the heart of the sky does seem to be this kind of Libran or feminine energy that's coming through. It's funny to me because Libra isn't actually feminine. Libra is a cardinal sign and it's a masculine sign if you want to look up those things, but it's coming through with like this Venusian energy. So it's like, this is the idea, right? This is the divine idea, like coming in, because can you see this kind of like circle on a head? So it's like coming in from, and again, you don't have to be a Libra. It's like coming in from our higher selves, right? Coming in from our divine feminine, so our 5D self. So this kind of like, you know, your higher soul. So your higher soul connecting, because you're branching out, right? Into this kind of universe, like tapping into pure universal creation energy and pulling in these ideas, which you can then manifest. So absolutely fascinating to me. And then, so after this, like heart of the sky is so cool. It's like the heart of the ocean in Titanic, right? But this is the heart of the sky. So again, it's like all this feather energy as well. So you can see she's almost like a bird, like this, like feathers across the top of her face. And then it's coming through, like if you look here, it's like grounding it. So this is like the 3D self, right? The actual grounded human 3D self. So taking that pure creation, like almost like God essence energy, like pure unconditional love, pure creation, pure ideas, and like the magician in the tarot, like grounding it. Now the drum card unbelievably actually talks about trees. So I'm just going to kind of pull that card out. Which deck is it? Sorry, I'm just getting used to these two decks. I'm not 100% familiar with them yet. So actually, let me read the heart of the sky as well. The heart of the sky is the love force that made all creation possible. This same force is present when you create with originality. When you bring formlessness, again, this original ideas, right? Getting out of stagnation, like just getting the ideas, right? When you bring formlessness to form or inspired ideas to expression, this primeval force does not know good or bad. It's up to us to provide the clear intention that will guide it to manifest. The heart of the sky helps call in beauty. Beauty's here. Here, so I don't know if you saw that, if that was off camera, from the invisible world and birth it into the world of matter. So absolutely, absolutely incredible. And then it says, perhaps you feel like you have to do it all alone. And this takes you to a dark hole, the well, where you lose trust in the natural order of the cosmos. It's like you, and this idea of like your lofty sense of duty and ideals is a prison of your own making. You open the door and set yourself free in an instant. So again, like, oh, it's tying into this kind of like grounded earthy energy of like, perhaps like, again, like very Capricorn and Cancer as well. Like this idea of like, I have a duty, I have responsibilities. I have to do, like, I have to take care of the things that I've rooted into. I can't go anywhere. I'm rooted to the spot kind of energy. Because of the because the Ten of Pentacles is here. It's like because of the earthy matters, because of those like earthy responsibilities and duties. So very earth sign. But this energy is coming in, like the air energy is coming in much more free and flowing and flexible. It's so fascinating. So the drum energy, they're giving me Wildfire. No, it's a Lana Del Rey song. Hot coffee, I'm better with you. Got coffee 3 times now. I've been running on Starfire. It's a Lana Del Rey song. I'll try and remember to put it in the description box. It's like Wildfire or something, Wildflower. I promise I won't turn into a wildfire. So the 15, the drum. So it says, unbelievably, its wood frame links you to the trees and helps you journey to the lower world via the roots and the upper world through its branches. So interestingly, that the last reading that I did ended with the upper world. The drum skin gives the shaman the powers of the animal kingdom. You travel to the beat of a different drum. It's time to acknowledge you do not fit a mold or a role in a relationship that is not in tune with you. Find your rhythm, respond to the heartbeat of the distant drum. The price you pay for lingering becomes higher with each passing day. Now is the time to move on. So it's like really encouraging you to be in this flow energy, but also like to connect with the trees and like the root systems and the connectivity, and the lower world and the higher world. So it's just, I don't know, it's just absolutely fascinating to me. Then it's like this King of Earth energy, right? And it's almost like, it's kind of almost like it's the wrong way around or something. But again, it's like the branches, right? The branches of this antenna, right? This psychic antenna of the branch system symbolizing like in meditation, reaching out into the sky to call in this creation energy or this divine guidance. It's like looking for the signs, like the sky writing the fates. It's like connecting with like the ancestral records, the Akashic records. And then the moon seems to be saying something about both the divine feminine energy, because it came out next to the cosmic moon, and the divine feminine. So again, it could be talking about menstrual cycles or cycles of productivity. So this is a very Cancerian energy. Again, not all Cancerians are like this. It depends on like your Mars sign, for example. But this idea of like working in phases and working with the natural ebb and flow of your body, with the universe, with you know, divine timing, and being open and receptive to that flow energy. Like sometimes it's time to be productive, sometimes it's time to rest, and knowing the difference. So very, very feminine. If you think about how the moon controls the tides, right? And the tides representing emotions, that's very, very, very Cancerian, very divine feminine. And then the sky writing as well, like this idea of like things are fated, things are like there is a divine timing for things, there is a divine order. Trust the universe. Again, with this domino thing that Libra's been having of don't knock the dominoes over too soon, the universe is still setting things up. There's a right time for this, be patient. So again, like we've got this kind of 10 of Earth and King of Earth energy, which is very responsible, very grounded, very practical, very much that kind of like the big strong oak in the forest energy of the person who provides for others, because the Ten of Earth is a card about sharing the wealth or sharing the workload or sharing the resources with others. So again, very dependable, very nurturing, very earth sign energy. Again, I was picking up on Capricorn, so it's like that an idea of we need the material, we need the wealth, we need the fruits, so that we can nurture and provide and care for the people around us. So this idea of like a you know, a network of trees supporting each other and having that prosperity and growth and abundance. Very earth sign energy. But again, it's this idea of like, it can ground you in the 3D. It can make you lose connection with the higher self. It can cause you to disconnect from those upper realm energies, because you get so grounded in the practical and the everyday, right? It's like, I don't have time to dream, I've got things I need to do. So just be wary that you're not getting so fixated on, I don't know, earning money or the next paycheck or how to put food on the table, or, you know, worrying so much about the earthly things that you disconnect from the higher energies. It's like keep the branches open, keep the antennae up to receive the divine wisdom, because the divine, the universe, the higher self, like that sense of muse inspiration and love is not going to let you go hungry, right? The abundant universe will provide, but you have to read the signs, you have to look for the messages. So then you have this like this 8 of water. So there's this thing about the treasure chest, right? And wanting to take things with you, wanting to take your wealth with you, or feeling like you can't go on a journey because you've got so much stuff, right? It's like, well, who's going to take care of these responsibilities if I go on this boat ride, right? Who's going to take care of, like, how do I bring my money with me? How do I bring my things with me? How do I bring my stuff with me? So it's like this idea that money and tangible things keeps you almost rooted to the spot. And it could be even like animals and pets, like who will feed my pets if I go on this journey. But the 8 of water does talk about the need to go on an adventure, because the 8 of water is like, I am not emotionally satisfied where I am. Yes, my practical needs may be taken care of. If you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's like, yes, I may have shelter, yes, I may have enough money to you know, put a roof over my head, or, you know, have good food, or you know, I have this solid and stable base, and yet I'm not emotionally satisfied, which is what that tree was talking about reaching for the water or reaching for the sunlight. It's like, I need to break out of the stagnancy of the everyday 3D routine. I need to have a holiday. I need to have a passion project. I need to have a friendship or a relationship that kind of sweeps me off my feet and satisfies those emotional needs, because the day-to-day, the practical, can get very stifling and stagnant. So then we have like Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray. Again, fascinating that this eagle and this tree energy seems to be coming through so strongly in the readings. So it's like hearing the beat of the drum, and it could be like your heartbeat increasing again, like you know, when you're passionate about something, or when something kind of lights up that fire inside you, you know, your heartbeat increases, and feeling that. Just to say, in this reading I've been getting so many spirit bumps, which is like it's like, if you've been watching Stranger Things, you know, Will, he kind of gets the goosebumps when the big bad's around. But this is like getting goosebumps because the good is around, right? The you know, that unconditional love, that God energy is like you know, tapping into that and feeling that. It's like good goosebumps. It's really tingly, and like, it feels like love. It's the way I can describe it. It's like a very good energy. And yeah, listening to this song up here, which I'll talk about in a bit, like gave me so many spirit bumps. So it's like your body responding in a way where it's like, yes, this is what I need. Again, if you think about the tree with the roots growing towards the water and branching towards the light source, it's like your body's in tune with this. Your body's reaching out energetically, perhaps, towards the things that it's you know, it's been missing. And again, it could be an emotional need, with it being the water. So this idea of like rising above the fray. So it could be talking, there's definitely something about not fighting, right? With Libra coming in with the prickly cactus energy, and there's stuff over here about not fighting. It's like not engaging with the drama, not getting involved with the fight, not getting involved with the arguments, but having that higher perspective, having the eye of God energy, where it's like, there's more important things in life, or I don't want to fight right now. I don't want to fight right now. You know you're always right, but you never lay it down for me. Won't you spit it out for me? It's a Halsey song coming in. Talk to the wall. Never pick up, never call me. You know I'm running out of time. What is it? Right now, right now. Now or never by Halsey. I'm just going to make a note of a couple of songs. So I don't know, maybe it's something like, just with that Wildfire song with Lana Del Rey, it's like, I promise I'm not going to get angry, because there's no Queen of Wands, right? We've got all 3 queens, but not the Queen of Wands. Like, I promise I won't turn into a wildfire. It's like, I won't, like, there's nothing wrong with the Queen of Wands energy, but perhaps this scares someone in some sort of way because it burns, right? It's like, I won't burn it all down. I won't destroy this, like they're showing me, like, just getting a lot of like plant analogy. So it's like, if someone's laid the foundations of some sort of prosperity or wealth, right? Like if somebody's got a lot of fruit trees, it's like, I'm not going to burn all your fruit trees down. I'm not going to destroy everything you've created. Perhaps this is something that somebody's afraid of, just because the Queen of Wands is missing. But it could also be, where is the passion? I need the passion. So take it as it resonates. Again, somebody could be afraid perhaps of a passionate woman or their own passionate nature, because it's like, if I engage with that one's energy, perhaps I'll burn it all down. This could be a fear of some kind, especially if it's like that has, you know, if somebody's had been engaged in some sort of way, whether it's themselves or somebody else, with this kind of Queen of Wands energy, which is again charismatic, fiery, does what she wants. In the upright, it's very, very positive, but maybe somebody has kind of got very out of control in terms of like not being able to control their passions, which could be very scary to someone, which could be why the Queen of Swords is actually quite attractive, because she's very stoic, very, I just keep getting brutal, like Olivia Rodrigo brutal. It's like almost like a change, right? The hot and the cold. I don't know. There could be something like that. It's like, be stoic. I don't know. Communicate, perhaps. Don't burn out. Don't let the fire consume you. There seems to be something about that coming through as well. So Libras, especially, like the people who've been in this stagnation energy, and just to say as well, I don't know what it is. Sometimes when there's been a dry period in my local area and then it rains, it's like the drains absolutely stink. They're like, the drains smell awful, and it's not like just my drains, it's like the whole area. Just again, it's like this mix of like, it's been dry for ages and then too much water, and it just smells, right? It's like, oh, so like my house smells literally swampy right now, and it's Libra's been getting this thing about rising up out of the swamp, right? Coming from perhaps humble beginnings or difficult beginnings. Again, like if you think about things that grow, like, you know, some things do grow in some kind of swampy conditions, like willow trees. I wonder if Libras are the willow tree again, because they've been coming through as like bamboo, but I'm seeing like a flexible tree. Willows are very flexible, right? And like over here, like the lotus flower as well, it's like these, and dragonflies as well. Dragonflies, they all grow from the swamp, right? But they're very beautiful. So this idea of like coming out of a stagnant situation, coming from a swampy beginning in some sort of way, and then coming back to life, it's just like the way the cards are coming through is just incredible. So any Libras that have been feeling that stagnation energy of like the routine is numbing, like there's no, like, I need a passion project. I've been like this. I always need a passion project. So I was at uni for a number of years, and that was kind of my phase. And then I was going to do teacher training, and that was my phase. And it was like, I need something else to get stuck into. I need, again, tarot was like a huge phase for me, and it kind of like, it kind of stagnated, right? It became routine. And it's like, I need that creation energy. I need something that I can pour like kind of like love and passion into. Like, I need something new, or I need a new spin on an old thing, you know, that kind of thing. So it can come through in a lot of different ways. Again, some of you, it came through the other day with like a stagnant relationship, so take it as it resonates. But a while back, I had this thing about the well. So again, one of my older readings, some of you might remember which one it was. If you know, like, let me know in the comments. But it was this thing about calling into a well and like hearing something in the well, right? It's like throwing a wish into the wishing well, or throwing a coin into the wishing well and hearing something speak back to you, but then not being able to see it. It's like it never manifested. It never came from the 3D into the tangible reality. It's like this connection never appeared and manifested in front of you. I feel like it was, because I remember it kind of played out in an Aries reading as well. So it was a collective reading before an Aries reading, and it kind of like had this thing about, but the thing is there. It's like it is calling back to you, a bit like Echo and Narcissus, right? It's like it is there, but it's like as you turn away, that's when it appears. So now it's like it's finally here. It's like, to me, it looks like it's coming up out the well. So it's almost like, you see how like the eye and this circle is like seeing something coming, like seeing something manifesting, like maybe intuitively, or because you're connecting to those higher realms. It's like, it's, I don't know, can you just see like the color of the eye and the color of that card like next to each other? So it's like this thing actually coming up out the well, like a volcano, right, finally erupting, because this is followed by fire and water. Like, look at this, fire and water, and it, like, look at this, like how this comes out together. Like, it's absolutely fascinating for me. So this combination of fire and water, which was what the tree needed, right? It was the tree needed the light source, the fire, the passion, and the water, which is like the emotions, the like to have all those nutrients. So yeah, it's like this rushing up energy. And again, it could be something, it's so funny because that more masculine reading that I did on my last reading, it came through like like shaking up a champagne bottle and the cork popping out, and it kind of, it was kind of, I wonder if it is that reading. It might have been the pick a card reading. I can't remember if it was the last reading I put up collectively, or if it was the pick a card reading, but I have to put that reading up. But yeah, it's coming out with this euphemism of like a champagne bottle. So again, it could be something like a need that somebody's bottled up, right? And it's like, finally, it can't be contained anymore. Like, it's getting, like the emotions and the passion are getting overwhelming. So it's almost like it's coming up the, like the throat pipe, right? It's like the voice coming up, it's going to be expressed. I don't know, but it's coming through like with this dust. So shout out Capricorns, dust devil energy, moving out of stagnation. Again, it's like this dry area, and then it's like kicking up a storm, or kicking up like kicking the dust up, right? Kicking the, it's like the bed of the ocean, right? You know, things settle, and it's like you stir things up, right? You stir things up, and then it's like, so again, it could be stirring up emotions, stirring up something you've bottled up, stirring up the silt of the situation and seeing what comes out. So it could be that somebody's literally stirring up a situation, like trying to cause trouble perhaps, or just to kind of like see what happens. But then it comes out with this luminous warrior. Now, to me, it's like, this is the energy of the thing that's coming out of the well, right? So again, going back to that other reading where it's like this thing finally comes up out of the well. It's like, here it is. Now again, could be talking, I'm getting Capricorn energy from this, because Caps, with Pluto going retrograde, they keep going into this, it's like the underworld, right? The lower realms energy of like going inwards, going into hermit mode, really trying to connect with the roots, really trying to connect with perhaps the ancestry, the background, going over the past, raking over the old dirt is what they're showing me. It's like somebody's raking dirt, right? So it's like going back into the family tree perhaps, or like going back into the past, going back to the childhood, looking at the roots of who they are, like the situations that they've been in, the opportunities they've been afforded, like how they've grown, right? Why are they an oak tree is the way it's been coming through. It's like, what nutrients were they fed? So how were they parented? You know, how were they educated? What was provided and what was missing. So perhaps some people having a very stoic, very money orientated, or very traditional upbringing, and kind of missing that, the kind of wildness, or, you know, maybe somebody who grew up too soon. That's a very, very Capricorn thing, like growing up too early, having to take on two responsibilities. They're telling me oldest child, like again, very earth sign energy, like Virgos as well, absolutely, that kind of oldest child energy. like, you know, having to provide for everybody else. And then because you have to be responsible at a young age, and again, same, I'm a Libra, I've got Capricorn South Node, Capricorn Lilith, so absolutely seeing how this fits. And again, like Capricorn South Node, we've got Cancer North Node, so that could be why Cancer and Capricorn are coming in. Like it could be your different placements is what I'm saying. And the duality of those two energies. Sorry, I'm just getting so much. So yeah, it's I might have to pause, hold on. I'm sorry guys, because I'm doing less readings at the moment, the energy does bottle up. So even though I'm not doing readings, I still receive messages. I'm still constantly, especially because I'm tired as well, I'm not sleeping very well, constantly bombarded with like spirit messages, and then seeing it play out. So for example, I watched Stranger Things, and there were 3 things that I've been channeling, like 3 specific sentences that I'd been channeling, and they all 3 kind of were in the last episode of Stranger Things. And I was like, great, I've been channeling like more than that as well, like this thing about the ash on the strawberries, like and without any spoilers, right? But it's like there's so much stuff that I've been channeling that came out in the last episode of Stranger Things, and I was like, can I just switch it off? Can I just have some downtime for a while? So because I continue channeling and I continue receiving messages, whether I'm doing readings or not, when I do a reading and it's been a number of days, it can come through really overwhelming, right? It's like wherever these messages are coming from, it's like they all want to talk at once, right? It's like the messages really want to come through. So again, it could be like this, like it's been bottled up, so now it all comes out all at once. So the Luminous Warrior is a card about somebody who's been on this inner journey, and like just look at his shoulders as well. It's like blue and water and fire energy. So he, she, they as well, you know, and it doesn't have to be Capricorn, it doesn't have to be Libra, however it resonates. But if you've been experiencing this kind of going back to your roots, now they're giving me Imagine Dragons, energy of Pluto in retrograde, or maybe even Saturn in retrograde, then it's like coming back out of that, right? Coming back up for air, resurfacing, finally coming back to out of that kind of hermit mode energy of that inward journey, and back out into the real 3D tangible world with stuff to say, right? With stuff to get off your chest, with things to kind of lay out on the table, with ideas that you want to put into practice, with things that you are going to be passionate about, and getting out of the stagnation, especially the stagnation that's associated with 10 of Earth energy. 10 of Earth's brilliant, right? But it can be suffocating. It can be, it can keep you rooted to the spot in a negative way sometimes. So this energy, like again, like seeing it coming, and then it comes up like a volcano, explodes. Really thinking about that volcano at the end of the last reading. So then it's like whale song, fire and water, right? So look at how the fire, the ignition, the initiation, it's like, do you see how it comes up? It's like almost like peering over the edge of the well, like watching to see if it's coming, and then it's like woof, right? Have you ever done that where you're like trying to light your gas, you know, your gas hob, and it's like you're getting closer and closer because you're like, why isn't it lighting? And then it's like woof. It's kind of like that big, like massive, can you see how it kind of like spirals out? It's like, whoa. So again, it's like maybe surprising in some sort of way, but it's like it is kind of bracketed by this water energy. So again, like the water energy, so it's like it's not just fire, it's not just passion, there's emotions attached to this. It's like it's surrounded by this emotional bubble, or it's like the initial it could be an outburst, right? Again, this thing about not wanting to fight, the initial it could even be like conflict, the initial you know, somebody finally saying something because they get annoyed, you know, it's like finally like that bottle's uncorked, so it comes through like the initial, so the way they're showing it to me is like I'm sorry, it's a rude gesture, but like shaking up the champagne bottle. So somebody could have irritated you, somebody could have shook you up, right? And it's like the pressure becomes too much, so the cork pops out. So that initial cork popping out is like the it can smash things, right? It can cause I'm hearing ricochet. It can cause an initial like an ouch moment, but then it's like followed by the champagne. It's followed by the emotions, the bubbles, the so it's like yes, there may be some kind of, because I'm getting this fight energy, like, yes, there may be some kind of trigger, there may be some kind of initial, uh, um, maybe even like a brutal thing that's sad, but it's like, it's quickly followed by the tears, it's quickly followed by the love, the emotions, it's like the pressure, the bubbles behind it, the pressure behind it is emotions and love. So it could be somebody, like, you know, if this is somebody approaching you, they seem very sexual at first, but it's like behind it is love, right? It's just, that's just the initial thing that catches your attention, is the way it's coming through. And it's almost like it's connecting to this sky. Do you see how it connects to this skywriting as well? Like with the bubble, like the thing manifesting, and kind of like these, again, these are two completely different decks, like skywriting and fire, two completely different decks by two completely different creators and artists, and yet do you see how they're talking to each other? So fascinating to me. And then with like water is just like emotions, right? Feelings, intuition. Fire's creativity, passion. But there's something as well, again, with this Capricorn ancestry, going back to my roots, and how the water, okay, they're giving me too much stuff again, how the water kind of takes a dry situation and makes it, okay, right, hang on, let me pause and get my thoughts in order. Okay, they gave me too much all at once. So they're giving me Lana Del Rey again. I've been running on Starfire, so it could be something for somebody. Hot Coffee, I'm Better, which is coming here with you, dear. It's strange, but it's true. There's something about ancestry. So the Dust Devil and is again coming through with this kind of Capricorn energy of like looking back at your roots, looking back at your ancestry, looking back at your family tree, your own family, the way you've been raised, how you were nurtured. And then whale song, which is, whales represent often ancestors, right? The sky whales, the ancestors. So your ancestors speaking to you perhaps through signs and symbols, and something that's old and ancient, because it's giving me Imagine Dragons as well. It's like something old, ancestral, ancient, again with like the drum, it's like hearing the beat, hearing the song, feel the rhythm, feel the ride, perhaps it's coming through. Cool runnings. Like something resonating with you. So moving out of stagnation because something is resonating to you. Something is speaking to your heart, right? Something is making you wake up inside, wake me up inside. Like it's making you feel things again. It's making things, it's just like this activation with initiation as well. It's like this activation, this, could be, I'm hearing spontaneous reaction as well. Like it could be something very spontaneous, something very unexpected. Like you didn't expect to feel this way. You didn't expect to react this way. You didn't expect to be triggered by something, right? It's spontaneous. But it's replenishing. It's like it's meant to come up. It's meant to happen. It's part of this unlocking something in order to move you out of stagnation. Is the way it's coming through. I'm getting really warm now. And what else was coming through? So it was also coming through something about, do you know how like in certain areas, like certain desert areas, you have to dig down to get to the water. So you have to actually build a well. So, you know, like there's projects in Africa and things where it's like you get a well to a village, you know? Like I think it's on my bottles of water as well. The bottles of water are about, it's like for every bottle bought, like there's a donation to Water Aid, I think, which is a foundation that provides wells and access to clean water in places like Africa or places where there's like war zones and things like this. So and it's also giving me information about like terraforming, kind of, I was getting all this stuff about like Flight of the Navigator and like Spore. Like there's a computer game called Spore, which it was coming through to me about like going to areas that are perhaps uninhabitable or inhospitable, like there's no plants there, right, and terraforming them. So it could be talking about like life on Mars or something like that, like building an ecosystem. So first of all, you need to get to the water, right? So like again, talking about the cactus, it's like what plants are viable. So the more plants you, so oh my god, the energy today. So in Africa, the Sahara Desert, I believe, used to be a rainforest, but because of deforestation and climate changes, it's now a desert. So it's like, but there's a man who's doing a project where he's like he's planting a row of trees across the Sahara, I believe. I can't remember the name of the project or the man. And it's providing a bee network, right? So the bees can travel up and down this this kind of strip of trees, which means that if more trees are planted, so perhaps, for example, flowering cactuses, the bees can pollinate. So again, it's going back to this thing about the cross-pollination and the need to have the bees. So it's like you can terraform areas. You can take situations or environments that are very dry and not profitable, and you can, with an investment, you can plant the right trees perhaps that can, you know, go really deep down to those water sources that are deep below, and find the light. And you know, if you plant the right plants in the right conditions, you can have very, very abundant and rapid growth. Right, so oh my god, this reading is just too much. So then it's like the more it gets into the reading, the harder it was for me to read. So this felt like it was like over here, it's like where we are now, and this is like where we're moving to. So because of this opportunity for abundance, right, for more abundance, for more seeds to be planted, for more light sources and water sources, for the right conditions to be provided to have more growth, it's like there is an opportunity for a huge amount of growth, right? Rapid, abundant growth, because we're then going into Feast of Plenty. And look again at the combination of the blue orb with the golden light energy. So again, this kind of golden light energy, just kind of show you all these, and the blue orb energy, which we're seeing here and here. Like all this, right? So again, it could be like terraforming the moon or something, I don't know, but it's like this is a huge, again, Capricorn, like you're going to want to pay attention to this, like you probably already have the 10 of Earth, but do you want like the 20 of Earth? Do you want the 30 of Earth, right? So it's like this it's like having more than enough, having a huge period of growth where it's like more than you could have ever needed, right? It's a feast of plenty, but it is choices and their consequences. So making good choices which lead to huge amounts of growth, but wanting to remember that there are consequences to your actions, and you may need to not be greedy is the way I want to say. So then this is where it got a bit confusing, because then we have this ghost dance energy, and again it's coming in with again this kind of Capricorn, 10 of Earth, like this road that's talking about like ancestry to me, like the roots, the ancestors, the ancestry. Like the ghost dance, it's like your ancestors are dancing, your ancestors are celebrating, because they're seeing the culmination of this project. They're seeing you take their ideas and like run with them. So it's the way it's coming through. But it was clarified by come out and play. And again, I'm already getting the goosebumps, right? Like the spirit bumps. It's like feeling your ancestors around you, or feeling like your loved ones around you in some sort of way. So come out and play, like get out of the stagnancy. Stop worrying about the practical things. Come and have some playtime. Come and dance with us. So it's wake up and smell the coffee. Is your cup half full or empty? I mean, it's so funny to me that I didn't do that on purpose. That was quite amusing. When we dance, we do it softly, right? And I love it when you're awfully quiet. Come out and play. Like, don't be scared. So listen to that song if you haven't heard it. And again, like some songs, I can, you know, like some people can feel music. Like that song really, I can really feel that song, because it has this really warm, growth to it. It's like something rising, and like it makes my body respond. It's fascinating. So beautiful, like come out and play. So again, it could be somebody who says to you, come out and play with me. Come out and let's go dancing. Let's go and have some fun, right? Again, it could be whipping up a kind of storm. It could be stirring the dust up, right? In some sort of way. There could be consequences to this. But then you have this beauty way, and then going straight back to that Venusian energy that we had of having a lot of growth, or having a lot of beauty, and beautiful things grow in stagnant areas sometimes. You know, the dragonfly grows from a swamp, the lily grows from a swamp. It's like this moving out of stagnation. It's like again, it's like beautiful, like having the right plant to grow in the right environment. It's like the environment's right for you to have this rapid growth, and it's very beautiful, it's very Venusian, it's very divine feminine, it's very Mother Mary, it's very Cancerian, and it's just very, very beautiful, right? Again, back to the dragons, Capricorns, you're getting a lot of dragons. I don't know, it's just gorgeous. And like, look at the pearl analogy as well, because this is starting to come through, this idea of like, I can't carry it all with me, like pearls of wisdom perhaps as well. It's like this again, it's making me think of like Botticelli's Venus, right? And you know, Aphrodite being born from the ocean, being born from a clamshell, like she's this pearl, like it's been the perfect amount of time for this thing to grow and to really come into fruition in some sort of way. I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's just, it feels very beautiful. So then we go into this thing that's manifesting in front of you. So again, going back to that reading where it's like this thing coming out of the well, but you're not being able to see it, but you can hear it, right? You can see the signs from the universe, but it's not manifested in front of you. It's like then it starts to manifest in front of you. So it's like your ancestors coming into view, or something that's been hidden, because it's will of the wisp. So funny, I said will, right, with the spirit bumps, or the Vecna bumps, I guess. Will of the wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows, right? So it's like this thing, can you see how it's like becoming clearer? So you see the face, it's kind of hidden in the shadows, it's hard to see, and then it's like it comes through, it manifests, it's like it appears, right? It's something that can be visualized. So again, it could be talking about this divine inspiration, these creative ideas, this kind of divine feminine muse energy coming to fruition, coming into the 3D, like this project being born into existence, or you know, this thing being birthed into the world. It's like it becomes visible, it becomes viable, it becomes seen in some sort of way. And then just how there's just something with these cards as well about the especially these two, right? This like the butterfly on the face in some sort of way seems to be something. It's like this seems to me this is the same person. So then there's something about giving back. It's like you have enough, right? So especially to the earth sign energy, the Capricorn energy, the solid oak masculine energy. It's like you have so much to give back to the world. Like you have been blessed. You've been blessed by I don't know, creative ideas. You've been blessed by it's coming through because it's the giveaway. It's like these divine ideas that have been shared freely, right? It's like you've profited from something that was freely given by perhaps your spirit guides, your ancestors, the universe. Like if you read the signs and you followed the guidance and you get to this feast of plenty energy, like you have not only the 10 of Pentacles, not only everything you need, but more than you need, right? So it's like, make sure you remember to give back. Make sure you remember to like return it to where it came from. And again, I randomized these songs, so these were not channeled songs. They were songs I randomized for clarification on Spotify. So I am getting intuitive songs as well, like the Imagine Dragons song and things like that, which I haven't made a note of and I need to. Yeah, so I am channeling songs in the reading, but all the songs that I've got little slips of paper from were like clarifiers for me, randomized on Spotify. So like you can't make it up, come out and play, come out and dance, right? And then the giveaway, again, it's like, it's almost like a volleyball or something, right? It's like returning it is the way it's coming through. And it was clarified by Back to You by Flowerface. How will I release you now? So do have a listen to that song. But again, it's like back to you, right? Like, so it's like, I'll throw you the ball and then I will do something with it and improve it, and then I'll throw it back to you and then tell me what I need to do next. So it's this to and fro energy, because it's coming through with this this mindful card as well, which is called group think. So it's like having an idea, someone takes it, almost like 3 of Pentacles, right? Somebody runs with it, they do something with it. It's like back to you. What do you think of it now? How can I improve it? It's this collaborative groupthink energy. And again, like mindful. So literally, because it's been a few days since my last reading, my mind is so full of information. Like, this is what it looks like to me. And just look at as well, like the trees and the flowers and the growth of this. Like, it's just beautiful, incredible. There's the kitten chasing the dragonfly, which is like this. Like, this came through the other day as like this kitten that kind of like ran through something and kind of broke everything, and because it was chasing this, and caused chaos because it was chasing this. It was just following something. It was just following its instincts, right? But it caused this almost like chain reaction, right? The kitten pushing over the dominoes. It's so funny to me. And then I was also in my meditation, and I won't go into this too far because it doesn't seem to be coming out in the reading too much. But I was given a scenario in a meditation, and I handled it. It was a confrontation, right? It was. I'm just going to tell you. So in meditation, I was in a coffee shop with somebody, and there was this person that I was with. They were transgender, and there was a man at the neighbouring table. Again, this is completely meditative. It's like almost like a dream while I'm awake. The man at the neighbouring table made a comment, right? And it was an inappropriate comment. And instead of responding and being angry, I went into a deeper meditation and spread my roots out and connected with this man and gave him love and light energy and connected him to source material. So instead of source energy. So instead of trying to correct him with words or tell him off or argue with him, I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to bless you with God energy. And then you will see this, you will see that the way me and my friend are, we're operating on a higher plane. We're operating from love and light energy. And we are above, again, rising above the fray, rising above the argument. It's like, we don't have to argue with you. I can connect to that source energy, and I can gift you with, you know, the opportunity to have that higher perspective through energy work, right? Through my gift to you. So it came through as being able to take advantage of the fact that we're all connected, that we have this root system, this spiderweb system of connectivity through universal energy, to fill that person up with more light instead of the darkness that had caused them to make the difficult comment. And in return to this, in the meditation, I was given a key, like a big ornate gold key. I think it was gold. I'm not sure on that actually. I was given a big key, right? It was like, here you go, you've been given this. It was almost like you've been rewarded because you took the higher route. You solved that situation with love and light. You know, you didn't engage with the fight. So it's funny to me that this key is now showing up here with this lock, and it was kind of like, because then I was sat there in meditation, like holding this key, like, what do I do with this key? Like, what do I have to do with this? So it's like unlocking something, or you are the key. You are the key to unlocking something. You are the key to turning a situation around. And then, unbelievably, this was clarified by Fight by Tayla, Parx and Florida Georgia Line. It's so funny as well, because I was having a similar discussion with my daughter, who's called Georgia, about knowing when to fight and knowing when to rise above. So very, very on topic. And so Fight, it's I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying you're wrong. All I'm saying right now is I want to get along. I don't want to fight, right? We don't have to fight. Is it something I said, something I did? And again, there could be a moment of reaction. There could be a moment where somebody spontaneously reacts to something with that kind of fire energy, which can be argumentative or anger, hot-headedness. But again, it's because there's emotions behind it. So I don't want to fight, right? I don't know. I want to bless you with love and light. I don't want to fight, is the message. It's just really nice. And then we end with, and I couldn't think of a better card actually, maybe the Page of Cups or the Ace of Cups, but I couldn't have picked a better card to end with, because the Messenger of Water is a card about communicating with love, gifting someone that unconditional love energy. Like the Ace of Cups to me, excuse me, my tummy's rumbling. The Ace of Cups to me is unconditional love, right? That kind of universal, higher realm, God, universe energy, right? Mother Mary energy, unconditional, universal love, like the highest of all the energies, okay? Beauty way, divine feminine, okay? And responding to anger, responding to aggression, responding to the darkness with more love and light, because that's how you create the balance. And it's the key to turning the situation around. So I love it so much. So it is this blessing, it is this the quiet words that are softly spoken. I love it when you're awfully quiet, right? I love it when you tell me, when you talk me down, when you tell me that everything's going to be okay, when you tell me that I'm loved, when you tell me that it's like when you speak the blessings, when you whisper softly, when you solve, when you express love, basically. And it's just so funny to me that all these pearls are now, it's like, how do I get on the boat with all these pearls? It's like she's wearing the pearls, she is the ocean, like she's, I don't know, there's something really beautiful about it that I'm not quite picking up on. Something as well about this this kind of shell as well, because you can almost see it, because it was coming through to me like this was a little tiny snail. Can you see it right in the middle of the divine feminine energy? And it's here now. It's like it's manifested now, is the way that I'm seeing it. So I don't know, it's like these soft words of love being spoken at the end of the reading, which is what the divine feminine energy can gift to the world. It's what the divine feminine can give back, are these words of love. So it's just incredibly beautiful. And then this was clarified by Neck of the Woods, again, woods and trees coming back through again. Neck of the Woods by Maisie Peters, and it says, you found me out, you found me out. So I don't know, that kind of stood out to me. I don't know, so it's a really, really high vibrational, very beautiful reading. There is a strong message about taking the high road and not engaging with like the fray, right? Not engaging with the lower vibrational energies that might want to battle you or knock you down, or perhaps who are even jealous of the things that you have and the wealth and abundance that you have, because you have the plenty, right? Connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your roots, recognizing opportunities to add more love and light into situations that may be very dry and stagnant, to create more wealth, to create more abundance, and giving love freely, not expecting things in return, but gifting your ideas and your love and your higher energy to the world, and being very, very generous with that, even when it's difficult, even when perhaps people are being confrontational with you, right? It's so very high vibrational reading, very divine feminine. Again, Libra coming through strongly, Capricorn coming through strongly, Cancer was also mentioned in Virgo. But you could be any sign, right? And these are just placements, these are just planets moving around. So very cool reading. I'm going to leave it there because it's definitely a long one, and hopefully I might get some rest now from these messages that are trying to come through all at once. And I hope you have a brilliant day and take care of yourselves. And yeah, keep blessing the world with that love and light energy, because it's an abundant, positive energy of growth and fulfillment. And who doesn't want that, right? So take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends.